Hey, what's up YouTube? It's abluegolfball here today with another Pokemon TCG Online video, and today I have a deck that was requested by Fiere0, Fiere0. This person has requested to see a Mega Diancie deck, and this is going to be a 190 HP Mega Pokemon. This is probably one of the weaker Mega Pokemons I've seen, but it's not so much the HP, it's the attack. The attack is Diamond Force for 2 type energy and 1 colorless energy. We can do 100 damage. Now, usually when we see a 2 type and 1 colorless, we typically see around 120 damage. That's usually a good average. For example, Genesect is 2 grass and 1 colorless, and it does 120, 100 to the active and 20 to the bench. Darkrai EX does 90 to the active and 30 to the bench. So that's usually around the range, right? And for this, though, it's a little bit under par. We're only doing 100 damage, but the effect is what makes it a lot more valuable, right? So during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to each of your Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's EX. If this Pokemon is no longer active, this effect ends. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but think about this. If you can pull off a Diamond Force, then that means that your Pokemon is safe from Landorus EX hitting us, the active and the bench. It's safe from I don't know, Mega Aggron, right? See, well, does Mega Aggron attack the bench on our side? I don't know. Anyways, but you guys get the idea. And so here, the problem with this is if this Pokemon is no longer your active Pokemon, this effect ends, meaning your opponent can most definitely Lysander something out, or they can use Escape Rope, or they can even use Pokemon Catcher. Not too many people play that anymore, or you can use an effect, an ability, right? Drive Off from Swellow, I think. Drive Off does that. So there's a lot of different ways that your opponent can get around this, but we're gonna try our best to make this work. And the way we're gonna do it is we're gonna be using walls. Okay, but before I touch on the walls, let's take a look at the regular Diancie EX here. It's 140 HP. It's pretty weak. Same thing here. So this is what I'm talking about here. For 2 type energy and 1 colorless, you flip 2 coins, and the hope and the dream is to get at least 1. And so that would actually do 80 plus 40 more. That'd be around the 120 range. But if you flip 2 heads, which is a lot less likely, you can hit for 160. So not very possible. I don't know. Anyways, the walls that I'm talking about, it's going to be Suicune and Sigilyph. Well, I did this backwards. Sigilyph and Suicune, and they got Safeguard abilities. And then we also will be playing the Wailord EX here with 250 HP. So this is our plan. If they do Lysander something out, they're going to end up Lysandering out these guys. And we are also going to be playing the Sigilyph and the Suicune for potentially type weaknesses. So, for example, if we're facing against a Charizard EX, we can slap a Muscle Band and do Aurora Beam for 180 damage. If we're playing against a Deoxys or a Mewtwo EX, or even a Lucario EX, this attack does 10 more damage for each energy attached to the defending Pokemon, meaning if the Mewtwo EX only has a DCE, we'll be doing 70, plus if we had a Muscle Band, that's 190, or that's 180, right, doing 90 damage times 2. So that's really good too. Now, if we do run into our own opponent with a Sigilyph or a Suicune, our Mega Diancie can't do the job, and we're going to have to use our Xerneas here. I do have 2 Xerneas here for Geomancy for some energy acceleration. Choose 2 of your bench Pokemon, yada yada yada. You can bring some Fairy energy out from your deck. We will be using Rainbow Spear, and yeah, we'll have to discard an energy card, but we'll knock out a Suicune or a Sigilyph if need be. And then we have Aromatisse here with Fairy Transfer. I'm only playing a 2-2 line of these guys. So the problem here is that our opponent can still Lysander out the Aromatisse or the Xerneas. And that's why we're playing a really thin line, meaning if they ended up Lysandering out all 4 of them, right? So unlikely I'm going to get 4 Xerneas. I only need 1 Xerneas into play, and I only need 1 Aromatisse into play. Meaning if they do Lysander them out, then that's about it. Otherwise, the other 4 Pokemon here are just walls. So we're going to see what we can do. And we will also be playing Robo Substitute as a wall. This guy will just be sitting on the bench or in the active spot when we Mega Evolve. And so we'll lose our turn. And so the Robo Substitute can just take the hit for us. That would be fantastic. And for the aspect of choice, onto the items and supporters and whatnot, we have the computer search, discarding 2 cards and being able to draw anything. I'm very sad to see this leave. This is in boundaries crossed, and so the day that computer search leaves, oh man, that's the day where we don't have one of the greatest memories of base set Pokemon. I'm just kidding. Anyways, we have Max Potion here. 3 of these, really useful for the Whale Lord. And Professor's Letter, just to get the energy out. We got the 4 Robo Substitute, Starling Megaphone, 1 of these, 1 Switch in case we get paralysis or something like that. We got 3 Ultra Balls to get the Pokemon out. We have the 2 VS Seekers here, just to get the supporters back into our hand. 1 Colress, 1 Lysander, 1 Lysander's trump card, 3 Ends, 1 Professor Birch's Observation, 4 Juniper, and 1 Skyla. Skyla is pretty useful to get out that stadium, because we always will be playing the Stadium War. The Fairy Garden is very valuable to us. And there it is, the Fairy Garden. And we will get free retreat with this if we have Fairy Energy. We have 2 Muscle Band, as mentioned before, and we have 2 Rainbow Energy, so we can use that for Suicune or for Sigilif. And then we have 8 of these Fairy Energies, and we have 2 Wonder Energies. I'm not playing any more than 2 because we don't necessarily need more than 2. If anything, we're just going to be playing it for the Mega Diancie so that we don't get poisoned. And for Xerneas too, sometimes that way the Xerneas doesn't get poisoned as well. I don't know. We'll have to find out. Anyways, that's it for the deck. Hopefully you guys got the idea of this deck analysis. Let's go ahead and see this deck in action on Pokemon TCG Online. Okay, looks like we're playing against Nicholas_CV. And hopefully we get to go first. Nope, my opponent won the coin toss, choosing Tails, and it was Tails indeed. We start off with a Spritzy and a Robo Substitute. I don't mind that at all. What we can do is, what I want to do, so we're going to end up discarding our hand anyways. So let's go ahead. I want to retreat, right? So let's go and we will play for the Fairy Garden. I want to retreat at the very least. And let's go for the Juniper. And hopefully we can draw into a Whale Lord. That works pretty good. And a Suicune. That works really well as well. And we get another Robo Substitute. So we are all set. In the next turn, I'd like to get a Mega Diancie out. We have the Aromatisse. We have the Colress that can get us at least 4 cards. I'm going to retreat into the Suicune and go on from there. My opponent can always play the Silent Lab, but I doubt it. We're playing against a Lucario, so I'm expecting to see something like a Fighting Stadium instead. And oh my goodness, my opponent gets the Lysander right off the bat and hits us for 50. Wow, that is just cruel right there. Well, let's try to get another one out at the very least. I'm going to undo that. I need to save these 2 spots. We're going to end up, well, I can always discard the Robo Substitute as needed. So let's go ahead, we're going to go for this. We do get the Mega Diancie here, and man, this is a tough decision. I really need to get that Spritzy going. But I'm going to hang on to my hand right here, and we'll just end the turn. A little bit tragic. We do have a Fairy Energy here and 2 fairies in the deck, 2 in the bench. I mean, what am I saying? In the discard pile. Okay, let's take a look here. My opponent can always play VS Seeker, get that Lysander out, and there it is. There's the Silent Lab. Thank goodness we didn't discard this Fairy Garden. So my opponent gets a DCE over here, and there we go. He hits us for 50. We will counter this, and at this point, I mean, I'm just going to hang on to my hand. I think that's probably the best bet. What I want to do is build up enough discard cards so that we can bring out the Spritzy and then bring out the Aromatisse as well. So we do get a Xerneas here, so that's always really good. That way we can start energy accelerating, but it doesn't matter. We don't have any energy cards in our hand. We see a Meditite over here, and that's it. We're just going to pass the turn. We get another Robo Substitute. It's going to be discard bait. But hang on, we'll take a look at what we can do. My opponent wants to bring out the Medicham. That can always happen. That can take out the Suicune, and we gotta be careful with that. So we will end the turn, and we can't really retreat right now. And so again, we have a Mewtwo over here. If we can get a Sigilif going, we can always do that. I'm just gonna end the turn here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna discard maybe the Suicune. Or the Sigilif. Man, I keep getting those mixed up. Maybe we'll get rid of the Xerneas. We should have another one of those. I want to get out the explicity at the very least. And so let's go. We will discard this from play and play that guy there. And all right, there we have Mega Evolved, folks. We have officially Mega Evolved. All right, in the next turn, if my opponent doesn't retreat or anything, what I'd like to do is bring out the Whale Lord somehow. I want to play the Ultra Ball, get rid of the Starling Megaphone, and get the Aromatisse out. So this is a really slow game right now. And this is kind of a slow deck in general. We kind of just hide behind some walls. And there we go. My opponent just passes the turn. Okay. So let's see. We can definitely get a Juniper. I'm gonna get a Juniper because we will. Oh well, let's just go ahead and all right, we'll just play that. I'm gonna get the Colress. I want to keep the Suicune and the Ultra Ball. And oh boy, we didn't get much of anything. Let's go ahead. We'll play this right here. I think. Yeah, let's go ahead. We'll play this here. It's pretty safe, and I will even play a Muscle Band, and I will. I'm open to having my opponent discard it as well. Otherwise, we can play the Rainbow Energy. And I think what I want to do... Oh, man, let's start the Megaphone right away. Good thing we hang on to this Muscle Band. And we even get a Zero Sick. Wow, that is brutal. Alright, so let's go ahead. We'll play this here. I get another Muscle Band. And I don't want to play Lysander's trump card. Let's go for the Professor Birch. And yes, we were able to flip heads. And we even get a couple more energies, thin out the deck a little bit. And we get a Skyla here. That way we can go for the Ultra Ball. So I'm going to end the turn there. While we have our Mega Diancie line right here as well. In the next turn, if we can get the Ultra Ball, we'll go ahead and retreat. And we can go for the Diamond Force. That would be pretty slick. We see another Medicham come out into play. And again, if only we had the Suicune can take out these Medichams in one shot because of the weakness. I would actually look forward to that. If we can draw into the Suicune, that would be fantastic. And here we go. The Medicham's getting powered up over here. Lucario, another Meditite. This is getting pretty dangerous. My opponent has some energies to work with now. That way the Medicham can actually start attacking the Mega Diancie. And my opponent's going to go for a Corkscrew Smash, drawing into some more cards. That's always really good. And we know for sure my opponent has the energy drop. There is the Aromatisse. And let's go ahead. We will just Fairy Transfer away. And I want to retreat into the Mega Diancie. And we will Fairy Transfer some more. And look at that, all powered up and ready to go. My opponent can always Lysander the Aromatisse, but the Aromatisse has done its job, and we should be all set. Now, what I want to do is probably just go for the Ultra Ball. I think that's pretty safe. Or I could, I don't know. Dang it. Let's see here. I want to hang on to... We don't really need an Ultra Ball. What do we need an Ultra Ball for? Like, really? I mean, we could definitely get the Sigilif out, but I'm gonna go for the Fairy Garden. I don't think it's too necessary to get the. All right, fine. Let's just get them ready. Okay, so I want to take out the Medichams in one shot. So I'm gonna get rid of these guys. I don't see myself Mega evolving anymore. And here is the Sigilif. So we got some more walls here. I'll discard that Robo Substitute. And here we go. We'll go with the Diamond Force protecting us right here. And the damage has increased. My opponent can always use Lysander. We can always see that happening. It's a good thing we have the Rainbow Energy. If my opponent wants to bring out the Medicham, I have a Suicune here that we can just take advantage of, and we can take out the Medicham as needed. My opponent can go for a Karina and get out a VS Seeker for the Lysander. I think that's what my opponent's going to do, and my opponent will be targeting the Aromatisse. That would be my expectation. But otherwise, I'm thinking if my opponent's not going to go for a VS Seeker, my opponent would be going... Oh, never mind. It's a VS Seeker. I thought my opponent might have gone for a switch. But it's going to be a VS Seeker. My opponent goes and does nothing. And we get a Fairy Garden. So, you know what? I'm just going to take my time. Let's just put some damage onto this Whale Lord. And I'm going to put the Fairy Energy onto the Suicune. And there it is. Let's see here. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm just going to go and attack. The Medichams can put some damage on us, but it's not any damage that we're concerned of being knocked out in one shot. The Mewtwo can hit us as well, but we'll be protected by by our awesome Diamond Force. Alrighty then, look at that. And we get another energy off of the prize cards. That's not really necessary for us. I will go and probably just take out this Medicham in one shot. I mean, we have a Suicune here, but you know the Mewtwo can always take us out as well. My opponent might be going for the Lysander here. I'm expecting that to take out the Aromatisse. I'm not too concerned. Most of our energy is already in play, so not a big deal. We have a Spritzy and a Xerneas in the discard. Oh, wow, going for the... Oh, that's interesting. My opponent didn't opt to play the Lysander. My opponent opted to play the Xerosic. I already have another Rainbow Energy here, so... I'm not too concerned. My opponent here can hit us for 60 and 60 again. We have a max potion that we can take advantage of. So let's go ahead. We will just go for the Fairy Transfer. We'll pretend we're going to use the Suicune or the Sigilyph to attack. But, you know, we have a max potion here. And we will just transfer this energy back onto the Mega Diancie here, and also play the energy drop. I'm gonna hang on to the Fairy Guard. I'm gonna hang on to Juniper. No need to play it right now, and let's just go for the Diamond Force. That is a one-hit knockout. My opponent can play the Mewtwo, but that won't work because we have the protection, of course, unless my opponent plays a Lysander. But alright, here we go. The Hawlucha, not scared at all. The Hawlucha can probably, you know, do 60, but, you know, again, we are not worried. We are not concerned. And so my opponent can still do, oh boy, my opponent can still do a lot. Oh, my opponent concedes the match. And Mega Diancie makes a splash and takes the win. All right. Well, I'm not too sure if I want to play another match, but let's go for it anyways. All right, looks like we're playing against Dark Elite 0560, or what is that? Yeah. And we don't get to go first. That's going to be a huge blow for us. This deck absolutely relies on going first to get the Spritzy and get the Mega Diancie going. But, oh, wow, we start... Oh, boy, we're playing against... Looks like a Seismitoad, Slurpluff. Maybe it could be a Swampert deck. I wasn't really paying attention, but... All right, so we start off with a Suicune. And this is not exactly the best start. We have a Robo Substitute, and we at least get to draw a little bit more. So, oh boy, it is going to be a Swampert and Slurpluff deck. So we're not going to see any EXs here, and so the Mega Diancie is pretty useless in this kind of matchup. We're going to have to see if we can pull off a win or not. All right, let's go ahead and we'll go with this here. I'm just going to go and discard a couple of these here. Let's see. I'm going to end up discarding quite a bit. What I'd like to do is get the Spritzy going, and also the I'd like to get the Diancie going as well. So we ended up discarding a ton of cards there. Here's the Diancie. There's the two of the Megas. The other Diancie EX is in the prize cards. So here we go. So we just got rid of, I think that's 3 energies. Oh, 2. Okay, I don't feel as bad anymore. So let's go with the Professor Birch, and we even hit heads. Wow, that is fantastic. We even get the Fairy Garden, which I don't need right now. And I'm going to go ahead. We'll just play this here just to kind of threaten my opponent that, hey, we got a Muscle Band going. You better watch out. So let's go with the Geomancy. We actually got a very solid start. Going second was actually a blessing in disguise. So... in the next turn, we should be able to evolve. Again, my opponent will be able to evolve first because it sees something like a Rare Candy and a Swampert pop out of nowhere, including a Slurpuff. So anything like that can happen, and I mean that's the benefit of going first. Now, I do have 2 energies here. I don't really want to play the Juniper. Oh, my opponent retreats and burns the energy right there. Okay, we see the Dive Ball. That could definitely be something like a Swampert. Oh boy, where is that Rare Candy? If my opponent doesn't play Rare Candy, well, I'll just end his hand away. And there's the Rare Candy. I'm surprised my opponent didn't keep the Swampert out in the active spot. But, well, I mean, I guess it's better to retreat now than retreat later, since the Swampert is a 3 retreat cost. And we're just going to go ahead. We'll power up the Diancie EX. I'll even play this over here. The Swampert usually has quite a bit of energy, so that means the Sigilyph can still do a good attack with the Muscle Band. If my opponent has 4 energies, we can actually hit for 110. So let's go ahead. We'll just play this right here, and I'm gonna hang on to. Wow, I really don't want to do this, but I'm going to have to play the N, I think. I'm going to give my opponent some more cards. And playing the N is also beneficial because it messes up with what my opponent's going to top deck, since my opponent used Diving Draw or Diving Search. But anyways, it gave my opponent more cards, so we got to watch out for that. And there we go. We'll just go with the Robo Substitute. Let's go with the Geomancy here and get some more energies. We'll put another energy on the Spritzy as well. Here is one, and we only have one more energy left, meaning that I'm actually going to probably go and just get the Skyla, retreat into the Robo Substitute, and evolve. Use the Skyla to get... Oh, never mind. All 3 Ultra Balls are in the discard pile. I forgot about that. So we will definitely need to just play the energy and go with the Juniper. Hopefully my opponent plays in a tool card. That way I don't have to waste my Starling Megaphone on nothing. But we'll wait and see. My opponent can still use a Diving Search, get another Slurpuff onto the top of the deck. Or we could see something like a Switch and a Hydro Pump. That can definitely happen as well. My opponent will only be doing 60 more damage because he has a Lightning Energy there. That's interesting. I wonder what the Lightning Energy is for. You know what? I'm actually going to opt to go with... let's go with the Colress. I think I don't want to... Oh my goodness, that's just pitiful. No Aromatisse either. And we will end up just going for the Geomancy, getting that last energy out. Sure, let's just get this out here, and only 1 energy is left anyways. There it is. That's the lone energy, and no more energies in the deck. So our Diancie EX is fully powered up, but it doesn't really matter. The Swampert will survive the turn. I mean, let's see. Unless we try to flip for heads. If we can get 1 heads, we can actually do a Luminous Swirl for 140. That would be a knockout. And otherwise, there's really nothing else that can really knock him out in 1 shot. And that's a risk, too. We can always flip 2 tails. That's the problem with these coin flipping things, you know. I'm not a big fan of these coin flipping things. It's never a guarantee. So we're going to end up... oh, we get a Computer Search. So that's good. I'm going to Computer Search... And let's just go and get the let's get the Aromatisse. Yeah, let's get the Aromatisse. I think that's pretty good. I'd rather get the Aromatisse. I can always top deck the Diancie here. We'll go with the Aromatisse, and I'll put the Muscle Band here. And let's go with the Juniper. And as expected, we get a huge Whale Lord. I'm going to go ahead and I'll retreat into the Robo Substitute. And let's go with the Mega Evolve. We have the Mega Diancie here. And it's pretty useless because our Diamond Force is 20 short from knocking out the Swampert in 1 shot. But that's okay. Hopefully we can, I don't know, top deck a Max Potion. So right now my opponent is still only doing 100 damage. We could see something like another 2 water energy drop. And oh my goodness, another rare candy. We have yet to see the Slurpuff. And I guess what we'll have to do... Oh boy, here is the double water that's going to hit the Swampert. I'm assuming there's 1 and there's 2. Here's the thing. I'm going to Lysander out the Swampert. And what I'd like to do is get the first shot. All right, we want to get the first punch kind of thing. We want to punch the Swamp. My opponent's Pokemon before they punch ours. Okay, so that's gonna be the plan. If my opponent just passes the turn, I will just discard the Robo Substitute, and then I'm gonna go ahead and play the Mega Diancie EX and get 120 damage on the Swampert. Of course, our ability does not work. Diamond Force would have no effect whatsoever. Alright, so let's go ahead. We're going to do that. And I'll even play this energy here in case we see something like, I don't know, Hypnotoxic Laser, I guess. And let's go with this. I'm just going to move another energy, put it on the Xerneas. And let's put an energy on the Whale Lord as well. Actually, let's put all the energy on the Whale Lord. I don't see the Whale Lord getting hit in one shot, so we'll be a little conservative here. I highly doubt the Whale Lord getting knocked out. So we will conserve all of our energy here. I don't want to take any chances of seeing something get Lysandered and getting knocked out in one shot. So here we go. Let's go with that. We'll go with done, and I'm going to go and discard this guy from play. And let's promote. There we go. We'll just promote that. And I guess we can play the other Spritzy here. And here is the Lysander. Let's go for the Diamond Force. A little bit short, but that's all right. At least we will survive the turn, even if we get hit for 100. And let's say my opponent gets another Professor's Letter and drops 2 more water energies. That's going to be a total of 160. We will survive the turn. Even with a muscle band that's 180, we will survive the turn. That is good stuff there, folks. And off this Juniper, I'm hoping we can get something like a max potion and then just heal everything off and finish the job, right? And that's going to be a lot of energies invested into the Swampert if my opponent wants to do that. So a wiser decision will probably be, maybe just invest in the Swampert on the bench, right? Put another set of energies there, and I don't know. We will take a hit, maybe 100 damage or so from this Swampert, but otherwise we'll finish him off and protect our Pokemon from EXs that don't exist in this battle. Again, if my opponent Lysander's out the Whale Lord, it's not going to work. Even with my opponent would need something like. What is that? 5 energies, not even 6 energies plus muscle band. That would do the job. 6 energies. No, 6 energies would only be 180 plus muscle band. My opponent would need 7 energies, 7 water energies to knock out the Whale Lord in one shot. So this is the reason why we threw all of our energies here. Because all these Pokemon over here, they can get Lysandered out and just get taken out in one shot. And then we would lose our energy that's been invested into them. I want to conserve as much energy as possible. That way we have the flexibility of moving the energies around. And oh, look at that. We even get a max potion. That is fabulous. And we even get another Aromatisse going. So if my opponent Lysanders out this one in the next turn or so, we can always get him back. I'm liking this setup. And we'll have to wait and see if my opponent gets the water energies down. If not, even if my opponent does hit us for 100, I will gladly max potion it off. We should still have at least 2 more max potions. If both of them are prized, then well, that's a bit of a bummer. But what we're gonna do is what I'd like to do is probably just go with a Via Seeker and get the maybe the Colress. That way we can draw into 7 cards. And there we go. We get hit for 100 damage. And we'll go ahead and evolve. Let's go and Fairy Transfer. We'll just move this over here and play the Max Potion. So that's pretty handy for us. Let's just go for the Max Potion. We will finish off this guy. So my opponent here has 3 energies, meaning if he gets another 2, right? That would be 5. That'd be that would actually knock us out. So if I can get a Lysander. I think the Lysander would be a little bit more valuable at this point. What I want to do is Lysander out this one and put some damage on him. And, I mean, this is a horse apiece. So, let's see. All right, so here's the math, right? My opponent can still put 2 more energies on here. And that would actually disrupt us pretty well. But alright, so regardless, I'm still gonna put these energies over here. So let's go ahead and we'll just play the energies. Again, we do have a backup attacker in Sigilif. Alright, so this is pretty tricky here. Do I want to bring out the Swampert? You know what? I do. I don't know. I think this puts a lot of pressure on my opponent. Let's just do it. I'm going to bring out the Swampert, and let's just go with the Diamond Force. That way, both the Swamperts are definitely in knockout range. I don't know. We could see something like a Professor's Letter get 2 more water energies, and that would be 190 damage. That would actually knock us out, because that would be 150 plus 40. That's 190. My opponent goes for a Dive Ball, and we see the Mudkip here. So I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have played the Lysander, but this one is a lot more of a threat than this one over here. Even if my opponent got 2 energies this turn, it wouldn't be a knockout. So okay, my opponent is going to go for it, and there is the energy, and that's going to be a knockout. So that's the plan. We wanted my opponent to invest 5 energies on the Swampert, and then we want to take him out. That's 5 energies that my opponent, that's going to be 6 energies in the discard pile. And who knows, maybe my opponent plays 20 energies. I don't know. I highly doubt it. But, you know, that was the plan. The plan was to force my opponent to invest in this Swampert, and then just take him out with the Sigilif or something like that. But this is looking pretty grim here. We do have 6 energies here, so we can at the very least do a Rainbow Spear. My opponent can knock out the Xerneas as well. My opponent can knock out the Sigilif. Everything here is in knockout range for us. But, you know, we're going to have some fun. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to play the Sigilif. And, wow, there's 190 damage. So this is the exact reason why we threw all the energy here, in case, you know, just in case if my opponent was the Lysander or something else. We have a really good amount of energy. So we have a Suicune and a Xerneas that I don't necessarily need. Let's go ahead. We're going to get all that energy back, and even the Ultra Balls. We have a Juniper here, so we'll go with this. And let's go for the Fairy Transfer. What I need to do is get the Rainbow Energy over here. And let's go ahead. We have enough to, at the very least, knock out everything on the side of the field. We have 3 more here. So I'm going to click done, and let's go ahead. We'll just go with the Psychic. Oh my goodness, 120 damage. That was it. And look at that. The Diancie EX comes right off the prizes right there. So my opponent can take us out, but we will just respond and knock out the Swampert as well. So that's a ton of energy that's going to be in the discard pile. But, you know, we're going to have to go with it. And, yeah, in hindsight, I probably should have gone with, oh, wow, my opponent plays a Lysander some card of his own. And that's a little bit devastating because we will lose out on 3 energies that doesn't get shuffled back into the deck. That's a little bit of a shame right there. We could just promote the Whale Lord, but I want to get rid of the Swampert, right? So we will promote the Xerneas, and we will play the 3 energies, and then we can always use Geomancy after taking out the Swampert. We can use Geomancy and go on from there. So the Slurpuff here has been pretty useful for my opponent. We see the Diving Search and we see the Tasting, being able to always consistently get the card you need. That's very convenient. Yeah, Tasting is from Phantom Forces, while Diving Search is from Primal Clash. And those 2 sets just came right after another, I believe. So my opponent is in the prize lead by 1, and we'll be in the prize lead by 2, but we should be able to take out the Swampert. And my opponent would need to basically reset everything. We see the Ultra Ball discarding a Juniper and a VS Seeker. Could be going for the Swampert. We could see something like a Rare Candy again. And my opponent can also get another set of energies by using Tasting and Diving Search for the Professor's Letter. So that's very nice, very consistent. That seems like a very good method, you know, to pull off. But anyways, we will knock out the Swampert, and oh my goodness, these Swamperts just won't go away. We will get another Diancie here. I'm actually leaning towards not Mega Evolving. That way we have a chance at. Oh my goodness, my opponent goes for the. Oh boy. I'm going to promote the Whale Lord and just have the Whale Lord be a wall. My opponent would be hitting for 100 damage. And, alright, I guess the Whale Lord it is. We will just play the Whale Lord and make the Whale Lord be a wall for now. But, I don't know. If we can get a Muscle Band, I think what I'd like to do is... What I'd like to do, if we get a Muscle Band off this Juniper... I would very much so like to just go for the Luminous whatever swirl. So let's go. We're gonna play this onto our bench. I'm gonna go and play another Xerneas. I think no need to play the Starling Megaphone. Let's just go for the Juniper. And we don't get the Muscle Band, but we have something better. I'm gonna go ahead. We'll just discard this, and we'll discard this here. Let's take a look. Let's find that Muscle Band. If we can flip 1 heads, There's the muscle band. I'm not sure what these cards are. I think that's a little interesting. All right, so we've got the muscle band. I'm gonna go ahead. We will retreat, and we need to flip 1 heads. If we can flip 1 heads, that would make my day. All right, we have 2 chances here to flip 1 heads. All right, so let's take a look. All right, here we go. And do we get it? Oh my goodness, we had 2. Oh, what the junks, man. Oh, wow. That is ridiculous. 2 tails. And, oh, man, that is a heartbreaker. My opponent can get, oh, no, it is over for us. We have no energies. My opponent gets a Starling Megaphone. And I'm just going to hide behind a Whale Lord for as long as I can. And, wow, we couldn't get a single heads. That would have been a one-shot. Hopefully my opponent does not have the energy necessary. And, oh my goodness, if my opponent doesn't have the energy, we will survive the turn. We'll get hit for 100, and we will survive the turn. If my opponent has 2 energy drops, right, because my opponent has the growth trait, 2 energy drops will knock out the Diancie EX, and it would be GG, because we really have nothing left going for us besides hiding behind a Whale Lord. Oh, man. I'm thinking we could see maybe 1 energy drop. Oh, no, it is over. And that's going to be GG. I will just hide behind the Whale Lord. And we don't have any energy. Wow. That is just sad. All right, so a ton of energy. We have 6 energy in the discard pile. All right, well, I guess this is it. Oh wow, we failed to flip a single heads. Man, 2 tails. 2 tails. What? Okay. Maybe we can pull a comeback here. I don't know, but we'll play it to the end. And that's the problem with Mega Diancie, is that they are really bad against non-EX decks. Because the ability is useless at that point. There's really no point to using that ability. So my opponent can get a Lysander, and my opponent can Lysander anything at this point. So we will go ahead. Let's just counter the stadium, and what I really need is a VS Seeker, but all right, let's just go ahead. Oh my goodness, we don't have anything there. And if we can flip heads, that's great. Oh, we do get a VS Seeker. And all right. And let's end the turn. So we got a max potion here. I'm going to go ahead and play the Lysander's trump card in the next turn. Oh, wow. Well, anyways, it's basically GG. I really have nothing going for me here. We lost a lot of energies, and my opponent says GG. And there you go, folks. That's the Mega Diancie deck for you guys. And there is the Lysander. We just couldn't pull. We just couldn't get anything going for us. So I'm gonna call it a day. We won 1, we lost 1. Hey, can't win them all. So there you go. Hopefully you guys have a good day. If you guys have any other deck ideas, shoot them my way after Roaring Skies, because I have a list out there on my discussion board, and if you guys see the list, those are the decks I'm going to be building, so I'm a little bit behind on all your requests. And so yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. You guys have a fabulous day. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.